Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. We are here, episode 21. The stock market is open. We're trading options as we do each and every single week, and we are slowly but surely building this account from $10,000 to $50,000. As you know, this is the 21st week at this series as we slowly build this, and all we're doing is we're selling covered calls, we're selling cash secured puts. If you've been here for the journey, it's been quite a journey, but right now we are full 100% cash in the account. We're selling puts every single week. We're keeping them honestly pretty safe because I just want to kind of go up and to the right here for a little bit until we get a little bit more clarity into how the rest of this Bitcoin cycle is going to play out. And the stock market has been on an absolute ripper, and so we want to keep that in mind when selling puts. I don't want to just get back into another position and then half the bottom fall out. And so we are just slowly but surely selling some puts. So let's take a look at it. Where are we at? We're about 16% or 62% of the way to our $17,000 goal. Every $1,000, we break it down as we move our way up the scale from $10,000 to $50,000. So let's jump into it. Let's look at the account. Let's see how last week ended, how this week, what we got on the docket for this week, how much cash we have available. And let's jump into a few things. So first things first, last week, let's take a look at MSTX. This is where we sold puts last week. And I want to come down here to the history, of course, so we can just take a look at what we did. So we sold 2 puts last week. We sold the 34 put. We sold 4 of those, and we got paid $140 for that. We got the 29.5 put for $10, and that expired worthless. You can see both of those expired worthless. MSTX was well above the strike. It closed at 42.04 on Friday, and so those expired worthless. We collected and kept the entire $150. And then we just rinsed and repeated it today, right? So what happened? Well, the market opened up today. MSTX was up just a little bit. I ended up selling some really safe Delta puts on MSTX at the $30 strike. When I actually sold the put, we were looking at a 0.05 Delta or 0.0492, I think, when I sold it. So super safe. And we did that just because Bitcoin is trading at about $104,000, $105,000. And as we know, MSTX is trading between that $40 and $45 mark, which shows us that as Bitcoin continues to rise, this is just decaying away slowly but surely. And that's just the way that it's going to work, right? So we want to stay cash. We want to sell puts every single week. We want to collect that income, but I don't have to collect a whole lot of income to hit our goals. So that's a safe put we put out there on MSTX as of right now. The unfortunate part is in order to sell another put, we only have $1,700 worth of capital, and so we are unable to sell another put. We already have 5 on the table, which is nice to see, but we can't go any higher. So these are the puts I sold this morning for $100. We got paid the $100 worth of premium. We have 5 put outs now currently trading at the 0.03 Delta. And so we have a super good chance that we will not be in the money on these ones. And we're up on the trade as of right now. We're up about 35% on the trade. And slowly but surely, Theta is going to eat this away. And if all things go well, we'll have all of our cash back to us again next Monday. But I want to look for some other plays. I don't see a whole lot of red on the table today. I was looking at a little bit of TSLL. That is a potential one that we could sell one put on. Let me just look. But what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to have the portfolio get split. This one is up 16% in the past week, so very possible we get back down into the $12 range. So let's just look at a couple puts here, right? So if we go on TSLL, right now, down a decent amount today, about 5%. We could come in here and we could try to snipe maybe like the $12 put. We're talking about a 90% chance of profit, 0.08. So that is a potential there. We get about $8 on the trade, so under 1% on our money, but still a pretty decent return. So we may throw that in there and see if we can get a fill maybe at the 0.09. Let's see if it's possible. Low likelihood to fill there, but we'll throw that in there just to see if we can get a fill on TSLL there at the $9 credit. If not, we'll let it expire. We'll let it just expire today, and then we'll look again tomorrow, depending on what is selling off tomorrow. So that's where we're sitting as of right now. We'll see if we can get a put fill on that, but for now, looking like it's gonna be about $100 a week on the portfolio. Update on the portfolio: we're sitting about $16,647 in the portfolio for the week, up 1.25%. For the month, up 15.4% or $2,222. Year to date, we're up 29.49% or $3,791. And you can see, obviously, there has been a lot of volatility. That is what happens in the portfolio. We doubled down on MSTX. We ended up getting back out of it. And we're back to cash. And you can see now So before here, we were all cash, got assigned, had the volatility of assigning or owning shares, got as low as about $9,000 in the portfolio. And then we're 100% back to cash here. And we have just been selling cash secure puts each and every single week and slowly but surely moving the needle. For the year, that puts us up 92.89%. And since we started in this account when Robinhood allowed options back in March of 2023, we are up $9,000 or 118.72%. Not too bad for just an average Joe selling cash secure puts, covered calls, keeping it simple, and rinse and repeating every single week, right? So super low delta play this week. We would have to have a massive pullback in MSTX in order to go in the money. And I think we're prepared to do it. So if we do that, we're talking about a $14 a share drop, which is a massive pullback. And honestly, if we got assigned the shares at the $30 strike, we already know that willing and dealing at that level, we could make quite a bit of money. So I'm not too worried about that. We also have the option where we could roll down and out. That being said, we're talking, let's see, if we go to the $30 level, we're talking about a 30%, maybe 32% pullback in order to get in the money on MSTX here. So that's where we're sitting on the account. It's really looking good. And we're just going to continue rinsing, repeating, stacking the capital. But let's take a look at the portfolio. Let's look at all the trades for the year. If you need them, they're right here. We've traded a lot of MSTX. Why? Well, I like the volatility. It's a lower capital play. And I don't mind the crypto play right now. So we traded that a lot. And what I mean by a lot is look at the portfolio. So only 160 has come from Hood, 150 from Mara, MSTU at the 94, MSTX at 29.49, right at 10, TSLL at 2.53. So $3,600 worth of premium so far collected in 2025. We are slowly but surely inching our way to the goal. Right now, we started the portfolio this month at 16,112. We started this year at 11,740. So pretty nice gains when it comes to 2025 so far. And the goal is to average between 2 and 4% a month. And so far, we are doing that when it comes to collecting premium on our options, right? So we're averaging about $700 a month right now. We had some awesome months when we were selling covered calls, especially when we were aggressive. You can see there back in March, $1,100. That's when we were super aggressive on our MSTX calls. And then now we're back to puts. It's less premium, but also less volatility, right? So I prefer the less volatility, especially when it comes to making YouTube videos and just keeping it simple, right? I come in here, I click 3 buttons a week, I spend about 5 minutes, and then I go on with my life. So how are we compared to last year? We're about $183 behind last year. We did $573 in the portfolio last year in options income. We're at $390 as of right now. We still have a week left, so we'll have 2 weeks left. We'll have this Friday and the following Friday. So we should be able to get some, probably right around our goal. Or our what we made last year, and probably way over our goal, right? So this is how we've done so far this year. When it comes to May of last year, 573, this year 390, April last year 498, last month we did 646, and then to beat June of last year we need 220 next month. So I think we'll be able to do that. This is where our money has come in so far in May. 140 the first week, 150 the second week, $100 like you guys just saw. For this week, potentially we have that TSLL that'll fill. Probably won't fill because we had low likelihood of fill. But potentially, if we do get the fill there, then we'll have $108, $109 worth of income there. And we're just chilling. So when it comes to this portfolio on the 3% goal, right? So we talked about this. We started at $10,000 back in December of 2024. We've been slowly but surely trying to follow the trajectory of this. Obviously, we're absolutely crushing it as of right now. The ending balance goal, if we follow this trajectory, was 13,939. We're obviously at 16 and some change, so we're trading down here towards October 2025, which puts us way ahead of our goal of hitting the 18,184. Let's see if we can get it done, though. We know it's a volatile beast out in the market, and so we're just slowly but surely focusing on what we can focus, and that is $401 a month in options income. So when you're setting your goals, make sure that you're looking at percentages, what's actually possible so that you're not over risking. Definitely something I did earlier in my options trading, if we want to call it career, is sometimes I'd go for that 2% a week, and the 2% a week can work until it doesn't, right? And we hear about that a lot. We see a lot of posts on X. We see a lot of YouTube videos on it, the YOLO traders, and you can make you can make a bunch of money if you hit those one in a million massive rallies. But for the most part, I stack it up slowly but surely, try to get that 2 to 4% a month, and the portfolio just grows, right? And you guys can see that in this portfolio. I mean, 120% gain in the last 2 years is no joke. And as we continue to build the portfolio, if we can continue to do that, this thing's going to grow like crazy, right? So that's where we're sitting as of right now. We have $11 left to hit our goal of the $401. So we're going to hit that no matter what. And this is where we're sitting for 2025, right? 5,143 is the annual income goal. And the potential balance goal is 18,184. Well, we're already 88% of the way to hitting our goal for the whole year, which is good to see. We need about $1,500 more. If we're doing $100 a week, then that's only 15 weeks, right? So we could get that done in the next quarter and a half. Super possible. And especially as the account scales, we should be able to continue the lower risk delta puts until and it's just going to scale up with us, right? The more contracts we can trade, the more premium we collect, and potentially the lower delta we can go if we want to play it safer. But we just need about $100 a week to hit the goal this month. We've already pretty much crushed that, so we're 97% of the way there. We need $11. If that TSLL fills, then we'll end up pretty much hitting the goal this week. If not, we will 100% hit it on Friday or Monday of next week. And we just keep pushing on. So this is how we're doing. This portfolio is super simple, and I hope you guys like me sharing the smaller portfolio, the smaller plays, and this just keeping it simple, right? 1 or 2 trades a week. Don't think about it much. Don't spend a whole lot of time on it. Trade some deltas, move on with life, and slowly collect 2 to 4% a month, right? And that's how we've scaled this account 120% over the past 2 years. We just will in, we will out. And we just reinvest all of our premium. Obviously, I can't touch this money for another 40 years. And so the best way to grow these types of accounts, because you are limited in how much money you can put into them, is to trade. And by selling options, this is a way that I'm able to add, at least $100 a week of capital by just trading, right? And so if you think about it that way, if you're able to add an extra $100 a week or $1,200 a year, you're significantly going to scale portfolios much faster. And we can see that here with the $9,000 gain that we've had over the past 2 years since we pulled this portfolio into Robinhood. So thanks everybody, as always, for jumping in and watching the videos. I appreciate you. And hopefully this content is at least helpful as you're going through your options trading journey or your growth journey when it comes to IRAs or personal accounts with Robinhood or whatever broker you use. So thanks everybody, as always. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.